God, now for the god-awful...
We're rolling, ladies and
the
gentlemen.
beginning of the podcast shit talk.
So what are we talking about again?
Oh, God, we're not ready. Again.
I don't know, figure out the topic. I'm just going to roll. Because that's how gold happens sometimes.
Sometimes, but the other
Most
times
of
it
the
sucks
time.
ass.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck to talk about.
What did we talk about before? It's like we already ran out of ideas.
And on that note,
Welcome
to the Butt Buddies podcast.
Oh, perfect start.
I'm Alfonso,
I'm Daniel.
I'm Jonny. And I'm Nick.
and yeah, we're just gonna fucking shoot the shit and see what happens this episode. We're talking about MGK, how he kind of blows. Do you remember that? Did you see that interview with him? I think Megan Fox was there too. But it was like an interview with him, and he was like telling how they met, and he was like, he was like, yo, tell him what I said, and it was like, something like she was smoking a joint or something, and he would just refer to himself as weed. He's like, I am weed, or some shit like that. I gotta find the exact
Sounds
quote.
like something MGK would say.
I gotta find the exact quote.
I don't know. I just think he's like, he fits a very niche role as teenage heartthrob, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's it. Eminem destroyed him out of his rap career, so he had to go to emo music.
Which he isn't good at, by the way.
I mean, you know what? He's probably better than most, but I'm just disappointed that it had to be him to lead this charge.
Did you think his like rap career was actually any good? I
No.
didn't think so, bro.
I think there was maybe like one song that I was like kind of into. But like I said, like it's not about us. Like my high school girlfriend was like obsessed with MGK and Johnny Depp. You know, like
yeah, I guess
that's,
so, huh?
That's like the vibe, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the vibe that he fulfills. So
he's the little edgelord.
yeah, exactly.
He's the edgelord that's 30.
Yeah, he's got his like little pink guitar vibe on, you know, like I mean, I'm not trying to hate on him, but I'm just as somebody that really enjoys like that type of rock music.
So this is how I found the exact quote. It's Megan Fox says, "I just remember this tall, blonde, ghostly creature and looked up, and I was like, 'You smell like weed.' He looked down at me and he was like, 'I am weed.'"
Sounds like something.
Thoughts?
This is why I don't follow celebrities. This is why I don't follow celebrities.
Fair enough, dude.
I don't.
Why do we circle?
I don't know. I think
this,
that
man?
like the fixation, like some people have the fixation, but it's like the obsessive fixation with them. It's just, oh God, no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
I
like
can't
all these-
You're not
possibly.
living your own life, so you want to live through somebody else. So
I
it's
guess
like live with a
vicariously.
celebrity.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
just gossip, just in general. You know, did you hear that this person did this, that person did that?
It's
you
all
know?
man-made. It's like people that are famous for being famous is what they say. Like the Kardashians is probably the prime example. You know,
But what about like the meme Instagram people, like wide neck, long neck, skinny neck?
I mean, it's a
Have you heard of
meme.
them?
It's a meme. You see them for like a month. Their meme format is used, and then I don't know. I don't follow up on any of them.
I saw I think it was like a Twitter quote, but someone
Man does have a big neck toe.
This
Someone-
guy wide neck.
Dude's got a wide
is
You know what they said after they took
wide.
that picture? Next.
yeah.
All right.
Someone once said, imagine if like a celebrity. Imagine if like just everybody as a whole just decided not to value celebrities anymore. Like an actress tweeted something and she got like 2 likes.
Yeah,
You know?
that's just a shock to
That'd be
them,
so-
'cause
I would
it
love
was
that.
so-
And they were both accidental.
I think it's like a big 80-20 rule kind of thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see this a lot. Like, 80% of the population does not give a fuck about celebrities at all, and it's like the 20% that does.
Give 80% of the
They
attention.
work-
Right, and then 20% of that 20% is people that are like really obsessed with celebrities.
they
like the
work.
ones
They
that are,
work
like,
at E or TMZ.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're like waiting outside some celebrity's apartment.
For a
I don't know if you
photo.
guys saw this recently. Somebody was waiting outside of like Justin Bieber's apartment, and she was like, "Can I get a hug? Can I get a hug?" And Justin Bieber was like, yo, this is my apartment, man. Like listen, like
That's the thing.
I love when they have to get real with them.
he's like, this is where I come to relax. You know, like when you go home, you like to just relax and like kind of get away from everyone. Like, this is my spot. Like, can you please like make this spot like this for me? And then she was just nodding her head. And then this is hilarious. At the end, as he looks at her and says like, okay, like, can you make this spot for me? She's like, yeah. But can I still get a hug though? And he's like, no, you're not getting a hug. And then just like walks in. And I was like, yeah, these people are deluded. They're deluded.
That's the thing though, is like, you get up, I guess some people get up to a certain point where there's no more that line of privacy, and there's still people too. Unfortunately, like even though people get a lot of these celebrities get like crazy, like fantasized, and like, you know, there's still people too. Like, I'm not saying,
see.
Like, they're better off, of course.
You see them on the
it's
screen. I think you know what it is.
Yeah.
You see them on the screen, on the TV.
You just associate them with other things.
These internet personalities are big ones too. So I think you just see them all the time, like in the screen, the star of attention. You know, like just they are the person.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to realize like they're normal too. Like
they're just regular people.
Gonna walk through, you know.
They gotta hit up the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, if they're big enough, I guess they're not gonna have grocery stores. But,
True.
you know, they're gonna walk through the grocery store, and you know.
I knew that was gonna come.
True, Ash.
Ash would bring like the loudest toy he owns to this as well.
Oh, of course.
Like we're like.
Yes.
I think this is just him hating against MGK. To be honest, this is his.
He's 4 minutes late. He's like, hold on, I'm back. Talk about MGK.
Let me chew my pink squeeze toy.
Anyway, the way I see it, celebrities, I kind of like equate to as rare human beings. Like, you know, when you play Pokemon and you come across a shiny.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But like the thing is, you see actors,
but they're not rare people.
No, it's because you see them like on the screen and on the internet and shit like that. And then, you know, if you happen to be lucky enough to see him in person, like, holy shit, you are that same person. You're the only one of that person that I know of. You know,
it's the one of one. You know,
it's like, you know, just.
But we're all one-on-ones.
We're all one of one.
Exactly, but why would anyone give a shit about us? Nobody's seen us before. You know,
twins are built different.
Anyway, just as an analogy, like if you ever like get involved with like a video game like esports or something like that, and you get to be familiar with all the different like top players and shit like that. If you go to a tournament and all of a sudden you see him in person, like you're like, oh. Yeah, hey, that's a birth. But obviously, it's not a surprise. Of course, they're gonna be there. You know, you're the one that's like.
And you're like scouring like streams and stuff like that to like see where you can find yourself in the background, and then it's that SpongeBob scene like, "Hey, that's me," and it's just like your forehead in the background.
Forehead in the background. Cross arms, but facing away from.
Yeah. You know, I think that's a good analogy.
It's a rare human being. You know, it's like a baseball card.
What is always, I would say, most of the time true. I feel like every time I see a celebrity, and I haven't seen many, but every time I see a celebrity, or you'll see somebody that you've seen online or on TV, they're always shorter than I think. Like, I remember when I went to PAX and I saw Markiplier years ago.
Really, Markiplier?
I didn't even wait online or whatever. I just, like, one of the people we were with wanted to go see Markiplier. He was really into him at the time. And so we wound up going, and I didn't wait on the line. I was just kind of waiting from a distance, and Markiplier walks by with this huge, burly, 6'5", like beast of a man.
Don't tell me he's a bodyguard.
And then his bodyguard.
Oh my god.
And then it's like little, like, you know, Markiplier is like 5, whatever, and I'm not hating on him, but it's just like you always see him in this format. You're just like,
you like
I
only see
envisioned
him
you as like 6 feet tall. Like I envisioned you as like looking up to you, and it's always
you're
like
more than 6 feet, so
looking straight ahead at you, you know. And it just winds up, you know. And I feel like that's just like a common thing. And I don't think that's just because I'm on the taller end of the spectrum. I think that's just in general. When you always see somebody on TV, they always look taller than they are in real life. Which I guess is the point of TV. You want people to look taller and more attractive. And
they're framed, so they're
framed
like
a little better.
They're the center of the frame.
I do remember that
PAX.
But that like that. The thing is, like, even though like you kind of scoff at like the fact that he needs a bodyguard, but in 2015, I mean, Markiplier was like
Oh,
one
no,
of the
I don't
biggest,
scoff at the
one
fact
of
that
the,
he
one of the
needs
biggest
it. No,
faces on YouTube. No, I'm talking about him.
Obviously, he probably needs one because if there one was,
And you're at a gaming convention of all places.
But I just think it's funny that he needs one, you know, like, and the
Right,
fact
it's
that
like unconventional need.
you know, it's like he's the president. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
but like if you're okay, it's like going. It's just like you're this big famous gamer and you're going to a gaming convention.
crazy people.
People are gonna know who you are. It's not like you're a fucking the world's best Fortnite player and you're going to the fucking
Finals or
the car fucking convention. Like no one knows who you are there, or no one, or maybe there's
Right.
an overlap, but like no one really
I
knows who
see.
you are. You know what I mean? Like you need less security than you would if you're like the best league player going to a fucking gaming
I think just for
convention.
peace of mind, it's probably a good thing. Just in general, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to
I
worry
mean,
about people like approaching you and doing weird shit.
Yeah, or somebody like hurting you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always the thing. The whole Christina Grimmie thing that happened
that was-
years ago, right? That was so tragic, but it's like people are just insane like that, you know. So yeah, it's something that's unfortunately very needed, but very funny to see.
Yeah,
It's always
that
very,
is true.
It's always very funny to see a very tall person next to a very short person, just in general, because
Naturally,
the
yeah.
proportions are like just hilarious to compare to each other. But yeah, and then you get like that real life perspective of the person, and you're like, wow, this is what you like actually look like. And then you might like watch one of their videos like the next day or something like that, and you're like, that's what they actually look like. I don't know, it's just weird. Seeing somebody in person is always different than seeing them.
It's
on the
like
screen.
it's almost like associating like let's say you don't like for bands or like musicians, like you'll never like if you only listen to it and you've never seen them IRL, it's kind of funny, or like a picture of them at all, and then you like see them in person.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? Like whose man's is this? This isn't who I envisioned this.
Right,
this
like it's
person.
almost like it's like you look like 90% what I thought you were gonna look like. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
you see him in person, you're like, that's him, but he looks a little different.
That's exactly what another one of the teachers in the science department said. Like when we got out of online teaching and into regular, he came. So many students said to him, "Was like, I don't know what you look like." And he said he said the same thing to other students. He's like, I spent an entire year with your camera off. I didn't know you look like this. Hi, how are you? And it's the weird thing of like seeing someone in real life is drastically different.
Oh, yeah.
Than seeing someone in person.
You mean this is the same thing? No.
Oh, seeing someone in real life is drastically different than seeing someone online.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's the same thing with like, just going back to like music videos, or like you see like, you're thinking like they're fucking giants. They're like, everyone in this fucking band is like 6'9" or whatever, and they're all like my height, and I'm like, wait, what?
I think one of the more interesting aspects of being a celebrity is being recognized by so many people that you would never ever have known in your life. They know who you are, but you don't know who they are.
What would you define as a celebrity?
Well, I mean,
Does it have to be amongst
just-
the scene you're in?
Well, I mean,
or like
celebrity. I mean, just
to an
like
extent.
I mean, celebrities are much
Somebody that's
broader.
famous, somebody that
much
like
broader
you would
knowledge.
recognize without
knowing
who they are, and it's not because they're related to your work or like related to like a political thing or something
used
like
to
that.
be-
Like they're in some. I associate celebrity with entertainment industry.
Yeah, it
So
used to
like
be
popular in
mostly
the entertainment
actors and
industry, you're a
singers.
celebrity.
So like actors and singers.
But now it could be
But now it
streamers,
could be streamers and like.
all kinds
I
of
think
things.
they're part of the entertainment industry.
You think, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just to flip the script, have you ever had a moment in your life when somebody recognized you for something and you didn't know who they were? But
That
they
literally happened to me today.
really what
I
happened?
was at the gym and I saw this guy and I was like, I've seen this guy before, right, at the gym. But he like walked up to me like he knew me, and he was like, yo, what's up, whatever, like dab me up, all that stuff. And that's the worst when it's like, you know me,
I don't know.
but I don't know you, so I gotta play it off like I know you, even though I have no idea. And yeah, so I think like on a smaller aspect that happens, but like in a big scope of things, like, hey, you're that guy from insert thing here.
Yeah.
Never
That
had one of
doesn't
those?
happen very often
No.
to me, I have to say. which is good. Because I don't want people just walking up to me and saying...
It's fun, though, when it does happen. Because I got a little story. Back in the days when Halo 3 was the best game in the world, like, undisputedly, there was a series on YouTube called Top 10 Series, where you submit clips, and if you're lucky, then you get, in the top 10 of whatever theme it was. So...
That was for Achievement Hunter, no?
No, it wasn't. Well, it was Machinima, but it was this guy named Anaj who ran the whole thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was, like, late in the Halo 3's lifespan. He was on episode 58, Accidental Betrayals, and I just so happened myself to got a pretty interesting accidental betrayal. Now, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it would ever crack the top 10, but he also had an honorable mentions video that like 20 or 30 so clips make it if they're not good enough. So I watched the honorable mentions and I'm not in it. I'm like, shit. Then I already think, all right, I'm not in it, whatever. Yeah. I watched the top 10 video. I watched 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm like, oh, wow, these are all way better than mine. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm like, God damn, that second one was really good.
Yeah.
1. And then that was mine.
Really?
I got the winning clip. And then, I was so happy. I was shitting my pants. I was freaking out. I look at all the comments. Everyone's like, yo, number 2 is so much better than number 1. What the hell is it?
You're a true celebrity. You have haters. That is a true mark.
But, like, it wasn't even, like, soon after. It was, like, a year after that. I got a message playing Xbox Live. It was, like, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or something. Like, hey, were you in the top 10 series?
Yeah.
I was like...
Production manager, will we be able to source that video and put it up for our viewers?
If it's still uploaded, I gotta find it.
It should be, no, because Machinima.
I mean, he took down a lot of his old videos, the old honorable mentions that I got in the past. But
would you have the video clip still saved on some ancient hard drive?
No shot.
If I sign into my Halo 3 file share, then maybe.
Well, by the time this episode views, if Daniel can find this legendary number 1 clip.
Everybody's going to clown on it again. The second one was better. I will admit it. I don't know why.
But we're not going to show the second one. We're only going to show yours.
No, they're going to look at the second one. I don't know why I made my number 1, honestly. I didn't.
Because it was better.
All right, you guys be the judge, Butt Buddy's audience. We'll see.
We're putting it up right
now.
There.
If it's around, what if it's not around anymore? Then you're going to look like clowns.
Oh, that's a real. Yo, that was sick.
Oh, that was pretty bad. That was pretty. Yeah, number 2 was better.
No, it was all right.
Number 2 was better. So, but yeah,
that wasn't enough time. Now he has to pause, and you're gonna look stupid and freeze frame while you're watching the clip play.
It's all right.
all this editing work we give him to do.
We have a great editor on the Butt Buddies podcast.
True.
Shout outs to our editor. If you guys need any editing work, any video work done,
if you need it to be edited,
don't hit our editor up because he's not for hire. That's how exclusive.
Yeah, he'll do it for free.
Find someone else.
Kind of mad.
Yeah. Celebrities. I think celebrities are funny because they're kind of like idols. We look at like religious idols in a certain way, right? And celebrities are a different type of idol, right? They're not connected to any sort of overarching religion, but there's still something that we look at with either look down at. I don't know.
If you're a celebrity, you can't take that away. It only goes away like if you
especially with the internet.
If you fade,
I feel like if you were a celebrity pre-internet and you weren't like huge, there's a chance that like
if you stop working,
you could blow up again.
You could, but like the chances weren't that likely. I feel like now that there's the internet and you can literally Google anybody,
you could probably find someone's location just by asking Google for it. Oh, like always at Starbucks right now.
Yeah.
But if you're famous now and you don't want to be anymore, good fucking luck, because it takes years and years of just doing nothing, and then maybe they'll still recognize you. Speaking of that, I just so happen to remember another celebrity encounter. Now. I
want to preface this. It wasn't him.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I swear to God. I'll find out. I don't care.
Where was it?
California. It was
where? In California.
It was in Santa Ana.
Santa Ana. We were in California all together in the car. And so I'm not going to sugarcoat this. ProZD was driving directly next to us. Yes, he was. All right. Him and I guess a couple of his friends, whatever.
It wasn't him.
Now, we were staring at him. Well, I was staring at him because it's ProZD. You got to stare at him if you see him in public. So... yeah, everybody else is like, no, that wasn't him. I'm like, yes, that was him. And they're like, you're just saying that because he looked Asian. I'm like, no, it doesn't look like ProZD. Asshole, he looks like ProZD.
I mean, to be fair...
now, ProZD, I know you're watching this, so please confirm for us. Did your car, or whatever car you were driving, have, I think it was either Kirby plushies,
it was a bunch of Kirby plushies.
Or Jigglypuff plushies in the back
I think
windshield.
that fits the
that
theme.
to be fair, I think ProZD's favorite
plus
Nintendo
he lives there.
characters.
He lives in LA, I think.
Who's ProZD?
I don't know. I'm just going with it.
Uncultured, but it's
no,
okay.
ProZD, it's unfortunate because I feel like if we saw him in another setting, it would have been easier to, one, discern if it was him or not, and two, maybe just walk up to them and be like, hey, are you ProZD? You know? But since we're in the cars, on the highway,
trying to force the driver, like, just catch up to him, catch up.
Roll the window down. You know?
We were definitely trying to beat some lights to see if it was him or not.
I saw like he was doing a Q&A video, and he's like, how do you react with fan interactions? And he's like, yeah, if they're cool and they just like ask me like, hey, what's up, and that's fine. But if they act weird about it, then I'm uncomfortable with that. But that's exactly what we did. So fortunately, there was some road in between us.
Is he the guy with the glasses and the really deep voice who does the really
short
videos?
He does the voice. He's a voice actor.
The Archibald guy.
Okay. He's really funny.
He's very
okay.
No one is getting home. I'm not landing this plane until someone gets this credit card. He's that guy. That's a funny clip.
But yeah, we saw him. So yeah, it's I'll take that to the grave.
You know what it is? I think we don't live in an area where like many celebrities live.
I mean, New York City, you'll see a few. You know,
like how often are you like in Manhattan in the
not
city?
us.
You know what I'm saying?
We're suburban assholes.
Right, exactly. Like we're a little removed from it. I feel like if you lived like in Manhattan, if you lived in LA,
it's a regular shit.
It might not be regular, but it might happen like once every few months, and it's not as big of a deal.
Andy told us that he saw Ansel Elgort once. You know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
He's the actor from Fault in Our Stars or Baby Driver.
Oh, Baby Driver.
Oh,
that was a good movie.
Those are two completely different demographics, by the way. Like, you start off, he's the guy from Fault in Our Stars, and I'm like, I have no fuck. I didn't read that book. And he was like, Baby Driver, and I was like, oh, Baby Driver.
I think he was in the new West Side Story too.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he
was.
Yeah, that movie sucked. I heard.
I have not seen it. I didn't enjoy the original West Side Story.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, like
when you're a jet, you're a jet.
Like if you're old enough, you'll say, "Yo, West Side Story is a classic." But if you're like even slightly Gen Z, let alone millennial, or you know, and you watch it, you'll be like, "This is the gayest shit I've ever seen in my life." You know, you know, I'm not saying it is myself. That's what they would say, and, you know, because honestly, what two brutal street gangs who commit crimes and murders and stabbings and shootings? And they're just doing frilly dances, and they're all harmonizing, and they're all
snapping their fingers and stuff.
When you're a jet, you know.
But
I love that
it's like
shit.
when two completely different worlds collide.
Yeah, I think it's silly.
That's why
they should do a prison musical, like with all the toughest hardened criminals.
It's called that's called Paddington 2, my guy.
Jesus Christ! who's the one of the main characters from West Side Story? An Italian guy, bald.
I couldn't tell you, bro.
You mean the actor or the character?
The actor.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because one of my friends, he absolutely loves West Side Story, and the actor, if you tell me the name, I could probably get it, but I don't remember right now. Once came into the store, and this is my friend's favorite movie, so he lost his shit, and he had a picture with him. But for me, like it
means nothing.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean that's
funny too.
Dude, I mean that's
he could walk in. I'd be like, "Hi, how are you?"
Dude, that's what happened with our trip when me, Andy, and Chris were in Japan. We were on our way back to New York at the airport, and I spotted this Pro League of Legends player there. I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, oh my God, that's my guy. I've watched this guy since like season 2. It's been like 5 years since he's played. I was like, what the fuck, bro? And I was losing my shit, and they were just like, who the fuck is this regular schmeg of a dude just fucking walking across?
Probably looking mad goofy too, right? Looking like a real professional esports player.
I'll see if we get it up here. This is my guy. His name's Nien. He used to be a top laner jungler for CLG. It was fucking awesome. I was losing my shit because I was like, oh my God, dude, I've watched leagues for so long, like Pro League for so long. This is like a legacy player. I'm like, damn, this is so cool. And then they were just like, who the fuck is that guy?
That's another funny thing.
That's a funny interaction just in general.
Imagine like you see a imagine you see your friend, you know, in the background, and like he meets a celebrity by accident and he doesn't know it's a celebrity. So then you go up to him like, hey man, bro, he's from that movie, from that you know, and like if you don't know who he is, then your natural reaction was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But some people would be like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like why would you be impressed?
Like,
You didn't know who he was.
Like, that was the Breaking Bad guy. And you're like, oh, that's cool. You met the Breaking Bad guy. And the other guys are like, oh, you met the Breaking Bad guy, you know?
Nah,
So-
I'm just kidding. He wasn't a celebrity. He was just a normal guy. And
Yeah.
he looks like an idiot.
You know what I really enjoy? I really enjoy when people, like, there's, maybe it's like a video game or something like that, and people, like, make fake cast lineups for that with actors that look alike to, like, the people look like in the game or, you know, whatever it is. And so, like, when they're really good, it's actually really funny. Because you're like, wow, this is cast pretty well.
You know how that probably got started? From the summer reading option where you do a movie poster.
Oh, man.
That was an option?
Yeah, instead of writing a book report with an essay with pages of words, you can just make a movie poster, pick 5 celebrities to play the characters in the book, and that's it.
Yeah, I think you have to like write like a 2-paragraph like how they would.
I never got that option.
I wish I had that option.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think I was always like the only one that did summer reading.
Oh, same, dude. I always did summer reading without fail.
The one time I did it, it was because I was stuck like on a plane, and then I went to a destination that I didn't want to go to for 2 weeks. So then I read like all 5 books that I brought like twice, and I was so miserable.
One of the worst books I've ever read was because of summer reading. It was Hatchet.
Hatchet, I read that shit too.
Bro, that book is
Did you read the sequel?
No.
Why would he read the sequel?
No, I will not want to read the
It's
sequel.
even worse. You know what it's about?
Dude, are you an edgelord?
What?
All right, so the first, all right, if I'm recalling correctly, Hatchet is about a kid who gets stuck after a plane crash. He's the only
Yes.
survivor,
Yes.
and he survives because of a hatchet or some shit. The second book is, all right, so you're gonna love it. If you hated the first book, you're gonna love this. All right, so he's semi-famous now, and there's like a not a survivalist, but like a journalist guy who's like wants to cover a big story. So they go back out to the wilderness. And you know
He relives it?
No, he goes back out to the wilderness, like, and the investigator's supposed to, or no, the journalist is supposed to be like, hey, so how'd you do this? How'd you, get like an op-ed, So, but like there's a big storm, and then lightning strikes in front of the cave. The journalist gets like gravely injured, and the kid now has to do another survivalist mission where he has to like build a raft and sail down the river with this dying guy. And so
Is the title called
This is
Shovel?
horrible. Like the first one was so bad. Like as an adult, like when you're an adult and you're like, wow. Like sometimes when you're a kid, you're like, sometimes you're like, I'm a kid. I don't know anything. Maybe it's a good book, and I'm just stupid. Right? I always love it when you get to become an adult and you're like, I'm an adult now. And that book was still really bad. And you're like, who picked it? I just want to know. I just want to meet the person that was like, that read that book and was like, you know what our youth needs to read? The worst, shittiest Bear Grylls ripoff. Fucking, I don't even know how many pages it was. It felt like it was like a 5,000 page book for how long. It was just describing. I don't want to get into it.
That's why I fuck books,
Apparently
bro.
it was so good they made a sequel that was pretty much the same exact story. Don't you love when like movies do that?
Oh, yeah.
There's a great movie, original idea, it sales, it's a box office hit. So they make a sequel and it's the exact same movie, but way, way worse because the situation that was from the first movie, they're suddenly in it again because they didn't learn anything. It's like Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
But Home Alone 2 was actually not a bad sequel.
So Home Alone 3 and Home Alone 4.
It kind of
It's
was.
not terrible though.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No,
but
it's not that bad. It's definitely worse than the first one, but it's not that bad. I was thinking about
Home Alone 3 and Home Alone 4.
Oh, don't mention that. Home Alone 5.
My favorite one
What's
is
the
when you
newest one?
obviously
What's the
see-
The Homest, Alonest, or whatever the
There's
fuck.
like a really new one that
There's
came out
like a really new one that
last
came out
year.
like a year ago.
It was so bad from what I heard.
I don't remember what it was called. It's literally like some dumb shit, like the Homest, Alonest, or I don't know what the fuck it's called. But it's awful. It
Home
starts
Aloner.
it stars the kid from Jojo Rabbit. He's the friend of the main character. He's
good in that shit, right?
No, he's amazing in Jojo Rabbit. He's so funny. But I was like, I saw like the trailer for this movie, and I was like,
It's so
whose
bad.
man's is this? Like, wait, what a downfall. No, but I was thinking, one movie that I like vividly remember that was like, damn, this is worse than the sequel, but it's the exact same, or this is worse than the original, but it's the exact same thing. Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
movie fucking blows, and
Oh,
I
really?
loved the first one.
I
yeah.
have not seen the second. I actually was meaning to watch the second one. 'Cause
That
I really
second
enjoyed the
one
first one.
blows.
Really?
Why is it so much worse?
But I love it. I love Elton John is in it, and he starts singing. They have to save Elton John or some shit like that.
Rocket Man.
And it's a fantastic. I mean, like the action
It's
sequences are
enjoyable at
great.
least.
Yeah, the action sequences are still good and fun, but it's like
It's just the same.
it
thing.
is the same goddamn thing, and I'm just like fuck. And the first one, there was like a charm to it. You know, it's like the most outlandish, ridiculous premise of like Samuel L. Jackson put fucking chips or like in people's brains and they're brainwashing them because
Yeah.
of phones or whatever. Great fucking movie. But oh my god, that second one was a downfall to me. I was like, there's no way that this is like. It was just not great.
Way too convoluted.
Yeah.
It was so convoluted.
Some sequels can pull it off though. I'm thinking like Terminator 2 and Rocky 2. Like they have a lot of the same, like story as the original. Like in Rocky, he fights Creed again, and Terminator, they're getting chased by a Terminator again. But
Terminator 2
they're
has
different
a-
enough.
yeah, it's a- it's
they
a
have their own
different-
unique
Yeah, it's a
spin to
different
it.
enemy.
Terminator 2 is way better than, well, not way better, but it's like notably
Significantly
better than the first one, which is crazy because they.
But then, what do you think about Terminator 3?
All right, that one's not that good. It's enjoyable, but there's too many campy things about it.
But what you think about Terminator Genesis?
What's the new like dark?
Dude, I don't know, bro. It could be Dark Rise of the fucking polygons
Batman's
or some
in it
shit.
or something. I don't know.
It's like if they're in the future fighting the war, then that's kind of not the point of Terminator anymore. You're supposed to go back to the past and stop the war.
Oh, I think that's what they did.
Aren't
in
you sounding like
Genesis.
a good old man right now? It's
But hey.
not like the originals.
I'm gonna bring it back to something we said earlier. Shrek 2
Shrek 2 was good.
Shrek
is
2
one of the greatest sequels ever
Shrek
made.
Three.
We did our. Oh, you weren't here for this. But
I love how we're just talking about movies again.
We did.
Well,
we did
we
movies
start
ago.
at
All things
every
celebrities,
podcast is gonna end
movies.
as movies now.
Look, because we had a movie episode last episode.
Talking
So
about Shrek and Shrek 2.
I
Yeah.
talked the fuck out of Shrek 2 for like 5 minutes.
That's
bro.
a really good Shrek 3 sucks ass though.
Shrek 3's awful.
Apparently Shrek 4 is
I haven't
better,
seen
but
it.
it's still not good.
Shrek 4 is
There's a Shrek 4?
yeah, Shrek,
Shrek
4 Forever After.
Oh god.
I heard they're supposed to be making a fifth one.
No, they're rebooting the series.
What the hell does that mean? It's all the same people, isn't it?
No.
What do you mean no? How are you gonna have Shrek without Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy and all the other people? Tony Banderas.
I don't know, dude. But
They're not even dead. It's like, why would you reboot a movie if all the original actors can and will play the roles again?
like dude, I feel bad for like Chadwick Boseman and like
He's dead.
because he's like actually dead and they're gonna recast.
Well, I mean,
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm assuming that like in the comics they would like pass down the mantle of Black
To
Panther
Shuri.
To Shuri, yeah.
do they think in the movie they'll say Black Panther died of colon cancer? Just
No shot.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
it'll be-
It needs to be cinematically accurate,
It's
all
what-
right?
it's
it's
Wakanda.
realistic. I mean, like,
it's part of the canon, yeah, but he definitely did not have cancer in the movie.
Well, that's like, you wouldn't expect a healthy man. Like
you know
Chadwick Boseman
what
to
though?
die.
You never know. Maybe all the Infinity
ugly.
Stone stuff is carcinogenic and
Then the Hulk is
Yo.
dead.
no, but the Hulk is built different.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's gamma
all
or some
right.
shit.
Yeah, he's
He's
got
a
he's
gamma
got,
male.
he's
a
got
gamma-
7
he's a
PhDs or
gamma
whatever
male.
the fuck.
He's built different.
He's a gamma male.
I really don't like this Hulk.
That's hilarious, by the way. Like, no one gets 7 PhDs, by the way. Like this isn't something that you do. Like, it's usually like you get 1 PhD,
And you focus on that subject.
or you do this thing called postdoctoral work, which is exactly what it sounds like,
He's trying
where
to
you
get 'em
do
all.
work postdoctoral, and you just do that whole thing. Like, there's no point in getting 7 different PhDs in something.
It's just
like
it's just a loud flex, bro. It's just a loud flex.
I guess so.
And then you're gonna make
Celebrities,
superhero.
movies, Hulk, 7 PhDs.
Yeah.
Postdoctoral work.
Yeah,
Loud
exactly.
flex, by the way,
I
loud
care
flex.
more about Bruce Banner's fake lack of postdoctoral work more than Bruce Banner if I saw him in real life.
I wonder what his research funding must have been like, honestly. If
What,
you have 7
Bruce Banner?
PhDs, I'm pretty sure you can get anything you want.
How much time do you have to do? It takes you like at least, I don't know,
2
at
years
least
for
5
PhD.
He's gotta be.
years.
He's
At
gotta be
least
doing
5
like
years.
three. He's gotta be doing like three PhDs at the same time.
At the
no?
same time, yo, bro, I do full-time research work
You think
4 times a week. Get at me, bro.
You think you could use the same
You gotta
dissertation
unlock
for,
your
like, 3
mind.
different
Dude,
PhDs?
it's that gamma male mindset.
160 hours a week of research.
It's
Yeah.
the gamma male mindset, King.
Yeah, it's insane.
PhDs.
But
I could never, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember? Okay, completely off topic, but very similar to PhDs, and it might be the last thing that we talk about. But I just remember this one clip of Hell's Kitchen, and this guy is like getting flipped off, or like this guy's like he brings like a pizza because his food took too long.
Oh yeah.
And he was like,
Oh, yeah.
and he was like hard flexing like, buddy, you know I have a PhD in music.
Yeah.
Do you have a doctorate? And I'm like, King, what are you gonna do with a PhD in music? I'm like, he's like, and then
I remember seeing that. That was so hard to watch.
I was like,
oh my God.
I thought he was gonna flex and be like, I have a PhD in nano, or like whatever,
helpful.
something helpful,
something helpful. PhD in music.
Man's like, I have a doctorate from the University of Santa Barbara in music. What do you have, dickhead? And I was like,
The money that you spent on that PhD, that's what I have.
That's all he has, because that's what he brings up to justify his meaningless life.
I mean, listen, he's proud of his accomplishment, but yeah, it is a little cringy when people
it is a little
take
at a restaurant, nonetheless. At a restaurant, nonetheless.
Credentials.
It's not even relevant.
It's not even relevant, bro.
We're not at a concert hall. or anything.
Is that your excuse for bringing pizza to the restaurant? Like,
What?
PhD in music.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, sir, you can't bring the pizza here. Listen, I have a PhD in music, and your point.
All right.
Almost
well,
as useless as a
I love-
doctorate in education.
Okay.
That was a wild ride.
Yeah.
I think we stayed focused for a while, but then we kind of diverged.
We love
which is all right.
PhD. We love PhDs, pizza, and gamma male.
Gamma male vibes.
Mindset.
I'm on
Yeah.
that gamma male grind set right
7 PhD grind set.
All right. Well,
That'll wrap it up for this.
That'll wrap it up
episode.
for this episode. Follow us on Instagram. Catch us on Spotify. Watch this on YouTube. And yeah, this was sick. Let's do it again in 5 minutes.
Yay!
Yay! Bye.
Bye.